Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video where I basically just felt a little bit inspired to make a list of things that are going to make your fat loss journey easier. I literally just sat on my phone and wrote down fat loss hacks and just started typing. I was like, what made my fat loss journey easier that I can share with you guys? And I came up with 10, which is a nice number. And I'm basically just going to run you through all of those. Now, before I get into today's video, just a little bit about myself and my story. My journey, I have basically lost 25 kg and over 55 pound and been on quite a transformational journey with my health and my habits. I never thought that I was going to be able to lose weight and actually keep it off because I had just struggled with it my entire life. Like literally since I can remember, I was overweight. I struggled with how I look. I struggled with my relationship with food. I struggled with losing weight and then gaining it back. And I never thought that I would get to a sustainable point in my life where I lost the weight and then kept it off. And a lot of this came from changing my habits, but also having the education behind food and training and habits and all things like that there. So for today's video, I thought I would share some of my favorite fat loss hacks that really helped me along my journey and some things you might consider along your journey that will help make your journey a little bit easier for you too. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with number 1, increase your protein. Protein is so important whenever we are trying to lose fat because first and foremost, it is the most filling and satiating macronutrient out of protein, fats and carbs. Protein is the one that's going to keep you fuller for longer. So whenever we are in a fat loss phase, whenever we're trying to drop fat, we are naturally a little bit hungrier, right? Because we're in a calorie deficit and all we want to do is try and help ourselves stay full for as long as we possibly can. And the way that we make fat loss easier is by making the correct choices with our meals. Protein is one of the key things that you want to consider when you are on a fat loss journey. Not only is it one of the most filling and satiating macronutrients, but it actually helps with your overall daily calorie burn and it burns the most calories through the thermic effect of food. So your body actually uses more calories whenever it's breaking down protein during digestion in comparison to carbs and in comparison to fat. So when you're actually increasing your protein intake, you're also helping with that too. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So tip number 1, increase your protein. Try and get a lean source of protein at every meal and make protein a priority along with your calories. Number 2, add more fruit and vegetables to every meal where you can. So you'll probably hear people talking about this all the time and you might be thinking why. So first of all, fruit and veg are volume foods. This is what we like to call where you can eat more for less. So you can fill up your plates with loads of fruit, veg, salad, all of that good stuff for quite low calories. You'll notice that if you are having a salad, you can chuck shitloads of veg in there, fill up your plate, and it feels like you're eating a lot more than what you actually maybe are, or it just feels like you're eating a lot more because the volume of food that you can put in there is so much more in comparison to other foods. So adding in fruit and veg where you can is going to help with the volume of food that you have. This also helps with the idea that you don't always need to feel like you're eating less to lose fat. In actual case, if you make the right choices, you can eat more and still lose fat. So what I would say is bulk up your meals where possible with fruit and vegetables. Get your volume in there and get your micronutrients in there too. It's a win-win as well. Number 3, eat at the same time every day if you can. This is such a big one whenever it comes to your fat loss journey and it's often one that's overlooked. Now I know that not everybody can eat at the same time every day and this can prove a little bit difficult for some people, maybe due to shift work, just maybe due to your life commitments and how things kind of change. But if you can, I would say try your absolute best to get your body into a routine of eating at the same time every day. Your hunger hormones are going to thank you for it, and this way it can be easy to stick to a regulated routine of eating when your body gets into a body clock of knowing that it eats at 8:30 in the morning and then it eats at 1 p.m. and then maybe you have a snack at 4 and dinner at 7. And the more you do that, then the more your body comes into tune with knowing at what time to get hungry at and then when you're going to feed it. It just makes your eating habits and your fat loss journey that little bit easier because you're in a routine. Do you know what I mean? So if you can get on board with regular meal times where possible, it's really, really going to help you stick to your calorie deficit and have some familiarity with your food. Number 4, sleep more and get good quality sleep. This is often one that is overlooked when it comes to fat loss. So basically, whenever we are getting good quality, sufficient sleep every night, this is going to help to regulate your hunger hormones. You've heard me talk about hunger hormones in this video a little bit and I'll explain what they are. So you basically have 2 hunger hormones. You've got ghrelin and you've got leptin. Leptin is the hunger hormone that tells you that you are full. It's that cue that says that we are full, we can stop eating. And ghrelin is the one that tells you that you're hungry. It's that little voice that's like, feed me, I want food, okay? Ghrelin is the little one. I always like kind of think of it as like a little gremlin because that's what like is going on in my stomach whenever I'm hungry. But whenever you are not getting enough sleep, or whenever your sleep is all over the place, the hunger hormone ghrelin gets upregulated. Now, what does this mean? It means that when you are lacking sleep, you're going to feel hungrier more. Do you ever notice whenever you have a couple of bad nights sleep, you feel more fatigued, and you also might feel like you have an increase in craving? So naturally, when we don't get enough sleep, what do? We want to have caffeine, we want to have foods that have maybe a high sugar count that are going to give us a quick boost in energy. We are fatigued, we don't really want to go to the gym, we don't really want to go for our walks. And this is why it's so important to prioritize your sleep if you want to make sticking to your calorie deficit easier. Because yes, fat loss is about calories in, calories out, but we want to be making that experience as easy as we possibly can. This is why when you have good, sufficient quality sleep, you can feel more balanced and you're not always craving these highly processed, highly palatable foods. So what I would say is start prioritizing your sleep, but not only for fat loss, but also just for your health. Sleep is such a healer. We need to be going to bed at night, so come off of your phone, stop scrolling, get into bed at night and get your ass to sleep. It's going to be worth it, I promise. Number 5, I have said to increase your daily step count by 1 to 2k to begin with. And this idea of moving a little bit more can make such a big difference to your fat loss journey and also to your mental health. I think when it comes to fat loss, people get so caught up in what's the perfect exercise for fat loss, what is the perfect routine, how much cardio do I need to do? In the grand scheme of things, we just want to be moving a little bit more than what we already are right now. So whenever I started out my fat loss journey, and I did it the right way this time around, I started small and slow with my movements because that way then it became consistent and it felt sustainable for me. So something as simple as getting outside for an extra 20-30 minute walk every day. It doesn't even have to be a walk to begin with. It could be walking up the stairs at work. It could be parking your car further away from the shop and walking, or it could be getting off the bus 1 or 2 stops earlier and walking home. All of these small movements and just that idea of moving your body a little bit more can make all of the difference. We basically have something called our NEAT, which is our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and this can make up for anywhere between 15 to 20% of our daily calorie burn. Almost view this as the more you can move, the better it will be. So small movements, increasing your steps, can go a really, really long way. So get yourself outside for a walk if you can, and not only is it going to be good for your fat loss, it's also going to be really good for your mental health. Number 6 is strength training, and ooh, do I want to talk about this one. I think a lot of us have been conditioned to believe that strength training is going to make you bulky, and that if you have fat to lose that you shouldn't be strength training, and that if you're losing fat that you should only be focusing on cardio. That is not the case. Strength training is one of the best things that you can do alongside your fat loss journey because firstly, it's a great form of exercise and we want to be strength training for our muscles, for our joints, for our bone health and just for the longevity of our life, but also because strength training is going to help with the overall body recomposition of your body. So this is going to help with the illusion of how your body looks. So you'll often hear people talking about the word toned. What this essentially is building muscle and losing fat at the same time, which can give the illusion that your body is looking leaner. So when it comes to you dropping fat, I would suggest getting yourself into the gym and lifting weights, heavy weights, at least 2 times a week. So 2 full body day sessions would be perfect. If you can go 3 times, that's great. 4 times, fantastic. I would say anywhere between the 2 to 4 sessions a week mark. You don't really need to be doing anything more than that. Strength training is so important with your fat loss journey. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. You do not need to feel scared of lifting weights. It's going to be really good for you. It's going to help with your overall body recomposition and it's going to make you feel amazing. So strength training alongside your fat loss journey. Oh, get it. Lift those weights. I promise you will not regret it. Number 7, I've gone for cut out or reduce alcohol for a while. Now, before anybody gets their knickers in a twist, this is not me telling you that you have to stop drinking in order to lose fat. This is not me telling you that you need to cut out alcohol. Just hear me out on this one for a second, okay? The reason why I put this one down was because alcohol was delaying my progress a lot. And this was because everything that came with drinking alcohol. So it would be the nights out that I was having, I would probably be drinking wine, cocktails, things that are already quite high in calories. And then it would also be the takeaway after the night out. And then we even think about the day after, I'm hungover, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to cook, I don't want to go for a walk, and I don't want to plan my week ahead. Then if you're anything like me, you end up having like a 2 or a 3 day hangover. I was going into my week feeling sluggish, I wasn't planned ahead, and my fat loss goals just always kind of felt like they were going on the back burner. Whenever I've reduced my alcohol intake and cut it out for a while, that's when I started seeing a really big difference in my fat loss journey. And not just from a fat loss perspective, but my energy levels, my productivity, my creativity, and just other aspects of my life massively improved. So the reason why I'm saying this is it's not to cut out alcohol completely, because if you are managing your alcohol intake and you're fitting it within your calories, you know, you like to have a glass of wine or you like to have a drink, that's totally fine. But I'm more so talking about if you're coming from an aspect of you're going out all the time and then what drinking alcohol can also lead to after. That's where I had to kind of put a stop to it for a while and set a boundary, because I knew that my fat loss goals were more important than having a couple of drinks every weekend. So it's just kind of figuring out where your boundaries lie. But definitely when you can reduce your alcohol intake, it'll make you feel better mentally and physically. Number 8, I've put down have what you want and add what you need. What I mean by this is most people will try and cut out all of their favourite stuff whenever it comes to losing fat. Been there, done that, and let me tell you, for one, it's the main reason why people's fat loss journey does not work. So whenever you try to go cold turkey with all the things that you usually really enjoy in your diet, so chocolate, crisps, sweets, burgers, pizza, all of that kind of stuff, whenever you try to go cold turkey, you'll notice that you'll probably be able to stick to it for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then you just have all of these cravings, you want all of these things that you used to have, and then you usually end up just giving in, you overeat on them, and then you go back to trying to cut them all out again. The secret is to keep those things in your diet, but just in moderation. Have what you want and then add what you need. So let me give you an example. Let's say chocolate and sweet treats. I am a sweet treat lover and I love to have chocolate. So for example, let's say I want to have a chocolate bar. Well, what could I add to that to make it more nutritionally valuable for me and to help me stay fuller for longer in my calorie deficit, but then I'm also still getting the feel for the thing that I'm craving, but I maybe pairing it along with things that are going to help me on my journey. So I would get my chocolate bar and I'm going to pair it along with a high protein yogurt, maybe some Greek yogurt, and some fruit on the side. So maybe some strawberries, maybe some blueberries. I've got some volume in there and it's helping with my satiation. That way I've still had the feel for what it is that I'm craving, the chocolate, but I've paired it and I've added what I've needed to help me stay fulfilled, satiated on my journey. So do you see what I mean? Sometimes it's just about being smarter with your choices. So fat loss isn't about restriction and cutting out all of the things that you love, but maybe viewing it from a point of moderation. So maybe you want to have a pizza. Instead of having the whole pizza, you have half of the pizza or a quarter of a pizza and then fill up the rest of your plate with a salad. All of these things seem small but can make a massive difference in how you feel and feeling like you're not massively restricted. So I would definitely say that's a really important one when it comes to still enjoying your food and reaching your goals at the same time. Number 9, I've said take multiple measures of progress. This is going to be anything from progress pictures to measurements to videos, your weight, all of that kind of stuff. And this really matters because I think the biggest thing I see with clients that I work with and also on my own journey is that you can get super disheartened really quick along a fat loss journey because it can feel like we're not seeing the progress that we want to be seeing. And the reason why that is because 9 times out of 10 we're not tracking our progress and we're not measuring it, and we need to remember what gets measured gets improved. So when you can take multiple measures of progress, then that way you've got multiple reasons to see progress happening along your journey. It can be easy to get disheartened and feel like you've made no progress, but if you're not comparing that to anything, then it's always going to maybe feel like you're not making any progress. Or maybe you're weighing yourself randomly here and there and the scale's not really moving, or you're taking a picture on a Sunday morning 1 week and then you're not doing it again for another 6 weeks. It can be very disheartening that way. So what I would say is take multiple measures of progress and take them every week. I started taking videos and pictures all the time, and that really helped me along my way because I was able to then start looking back and notice changes in my body, notice changes in my physique, notice changes in my skin, in my hair, just everything like that there. So we all have phones, we all have gadgets, whip them out and take pictures, take the data and then have something to compare to. It's going to help you stay motivated and it's going to help you recognize your progress so you can actually give yourself a pat on the back sometimes because you deserve it. And number 10, probably my favorite one, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my socials down below because I'm going to be like the big sister that you need along your fat loss journey. Yes, I did cheekily plug myself, but it is my mission to help as many people on their fat loss journey as I possibly can. This is where I want to help you. So be sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my other videos. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know down below. And while I'm on the topic, if you want to see anything from me in regards to your fat loss journey, if there's anything that you are not understanding, please drop a comment below and I will try my best to get it covered in a video so I can help you. If you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Keep smashing it on your fat loss journey. I'm proud of you and I will see you in the next video. Bye.